Hello everyone, it's Shinto Bean here playing some more Warhammer combat cards, and in this one we'll be taking a look at the balance changes for the Warpspider season, which has already started here on January 20th. Now for the Battle Pass in this one, you'll be getting copies of a number of older Phoenix Lords, including Karandris, Malganra, Janezar, and one copy of the legendary Baharath, who has new artwork in here, but they haven't switched his artwork yet. I think they're waiting for the release of the actual new miniatures from Games Workshop. You also get one copy of the legendary Crimson Hunter and two copies of the Wraith Knight Lord of War. That's the melee one. So some decent cards in there, but nothing new. But we are getting hints of the new Phoenix Lord from the cosmetics there. So we will, I'm sure, be seeing Lycus, the new Phoenix Lord of the Warpspiders, which I'm really excited for. Some really amazing looking new models coming out for the Aeldari. I believe they're up for pre-order already, so we should be seeing them entering combat cards in the near future. But let's go ahead and take a look at the balance changes, starting with aeldari. Now, I will preface this by saying the balance changes this season are pretty underwhelming. There's nothing that's really going to change up the meta very much, and some kind of questionable trait changes in my opinion, but yeah, most of them are focused on cards that just aren't used very much. So first of all, we have the Howling Banshee Aspect Warrior. So this one has gone up in points. It used to be 5 points, now it's 8 points, and it got plus 20 health and plus 20 melee attack, so it does hit quite a bit harder. You can see mine's at level 7, even though I have 555 copies of it, so yeah, obviously not a card that I've used very much in the past. Then we've got the Dark Reaper Exarch, which used to be almost identical to the Corsair Reaver. I think they were like 1 point apart and did almost the same amount of damage, and also both had barrage. But yeah, they've wanted to make the Exarch feel a little bit more elite, so they increased the points by 5, gave it 30 more health and 15 more range. So at level 10, mine dealing 76 barrage damage. That's actually pretty good damage output. So yeah, I might be focusing on this guy a little more. Likewise, the Dire Avenger Aspect Warrior also went up 2 points, going from 6 to 8 points, plus 10 health and plus 10 range, so just a little bit stronger overall. We've got the Harlequin Shadowseer. This is a very useful card, I think, having shields and then anti-infantry for its secondary trait, just getting an overall buff of plus 5 health and plus 5 to each of its attack types. Then we've got the Farseer on foot with Psychic Link and Warp Surge. This one just hits super hard. So much damage output from this thing, but it is very much a glass cannon, not having very much health. It is going down 4 points, though, to 30. And then finally we've got Karandris. Unfortunately, this guy does not seem to be getting any love from the design department. He's not getting a new model. But he is getting a slight buff, minus 2 points and plus 20 health, giving him an absurd amount of health for an aeldari. Like 207. Look, like let's compare this for a second. 35 points, 275 or 270 health. Compare that to things that are like the same amount of points. Janezar 222 health, Malganra 178 health for the same amount of points. So this guy's very much very tanky. Can do some damage, but still not really the biggest fan of the card. I think if he was cheaper, it would be a more attractive option. 35 points is quite expensive for what he does. Moving on to Necrons, we've got the Apprentic. This one used to have melee Scout, and I kind of liked Scout because it combos with some of the older Necron warlords, you know, like the Corpse Lord and Imhotep. But they've switched it to target acquired for whatever reason. So I'm a bit iffy on that trait change. Don't think it was really necessary. For Tau, they've changed the 5-point Farfstalker's trait from Furious Charge to Target Acquired. Tau, of course, have so many Target Acquired cards for ranged units, but not so many for melee units. Again, this is a card that I never used before, so I'm kind of ambivalent on the change. Didn't use it before, probably won't use it in the future either. They do want to give some love to the Kroots, though, apparently. So we've got the Kroot Hound going up 2 points. So it went from 4 to 6, but plus 10 health and plus 10 melee. And then the Kroot Long Quill, pretty old card here, minus 20 health and plus 10 melee. This thing did seem very surprisingly tanky for just a little Kroot. But yeah, Hits quite hard though with the melee scout. Then for Servants of the Emperor, we've got the Arco-Flagellant. This thing used to have Berserk, and they had given it a lot of health. Like, it got a massive health buff because it had Berserk. But, I mean, still, Berserk on a low point unit is pretty bad. And they've changed it to Deathblow, which is better. Unfortunately, it still just has a whole lot of health. I think they need to be a little more extreme. I mean, it went down 30 health and plus 15 melee, but that's not enough to warrant using this card, I think. And, well, I think the main issue is if you look at the upgrade track, it's mostly health upgrades. So if they change some of those to melee upgrades, then it might be a more attractive option. And just some minor tweaks to Chaos. We've got the Plague Surgeon going down 2 points, so he was at 16, now at 14. And then the Spoilpox Scrivener with Inspiring Presence down 2 points as well. So those are all the changes. Again, nothing too incredible there. We are getting a number of interesting cards added to the general pool, which has been a nice trend recently. So for Aeldari, just one, the Nightwing, which is a pretty powerful aircraft. For the Orcs, Lord of War, the Gargantuan Squigoth. For Servants of the Emperor, a nice mix of cards there, some Sororitas, a few Lords of War as well. We got the Forgotten Knight, and then the Marauder Bomber. For Tyranids, we got the Goliath Truck, and then the Genestealer called Benefictus. That one is a really good one. Really powerful Psyker. And then for Space Marines, we've got the Land Raider Banisher. It's the Grey Knight's Land Raider. And then Brother Corbulo, very useful legendary healer. Let me know what you think about the changes and what you're most looking forward to with the coming Aeldari. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.